If you know me, ain't no question, yeah, I'm packing. Got the pistol, better dick, I ain't a jacket. If I ain't making no money, then I'm stacking. Ain't no Houdini, but just like magic.
Sean Arian Dockery, born January 5th, 1983. Let's just make this entire conversation about basketball and having a future in it a little more clear. Being in the NBA won't happen and isn't for everybody. It doesn't matter what you did in high school or how many cameras were at your disposal. If it isn't for you, then it's not. Many times when it's not for a person, you can feel like, man, what happened to him? Or dang, he failed. In that guy's mind, he's thinking of all the opportunities he's been awarded from basketball and the other avenues it's opened up and allowed him to live a comfortable life. Sean Dockery is one of those cases, but let's humor the conversation and talk about why he isn't or hasn't been in the league and why that's okay. This video is brought to you by L.H. and his new song Packin', which you can hear throughout this video. You can also find it in the description below. Go stream his music, man. He's been putting out pure flames. Now let's get into the video. Salute to Presidential Sam on IG and everyone that's asked about this guy. It's your boy JC Stunted Growth. Let's get it, man. Stunt number 1, timing. Many of you may be familiar with Sean Dockery from the Preps High School Basketball series that came out in the early 2000s. Guys like he, Eddie Curry, and Will Bynum were regular features. Dockery was a little different from those guys in that immediately you could see that with his skill, he would struggle at the school he eventually chose. His high school competition, in my opinion, wasn't the best, and although he grew up in one of the toughest environments in the Chicago South Side, he didn't seem to consistently go up against high-level opponents, which can inflate a prospect's accolades. His skill packages were also limited, to the point I never really understood why he was a featured player in the city. Either way, he put up enough stats to become a McDonald's All-American and obtain scholarships from the top schools, one in the Duke Blue Devils, who has never taken any public school prospects from Chicago up to that point. Although, as we'll see later, this was a great college choice for him, it was at the absolute wrong time to attend. Besides him having the skill level for a much smaller Division I school, he was entering the program with at least 4 to 5 guys on the roster each year that were extremely high-level college players and NBA participants. This caused Dockery to continually be outshined and his stock to plummet. J.J. Redick being the most prominent. Redick was an all-everything enter in Duke and pretty much continued that success through his 4 years there. He would go on to become the all-time leading scorer in Duke history and in the ACC until North Carolina's Tyler Hansborough broke that record. In his freshman season, Dockery had he and 4 other future NBA players on the roster. He averaged 3 points, 1 rebound, and 1 assist a game. As a sophomore, he was the 7th man in the rotation and had 6 future league players on the squad. He averaged 3 points, 1 rebound, and 1 assist. As a junior, he had 5, and as a senior, there were 4 on the roster. Dockery was always the 4th and most times 5th or 6th thought for the team. This was a strong recruiting era for Duke, and Sean wasn't the players the others were. Along with the team not winning the championship in that span, and he not shining with the team, he really never had much of a shot.
Been so bad, I told her, damn, I wanna hit it. She assumed position, then told me, come get it. Ain't had no breakfast, so a nigga had to eat it. It took an hour, but I promised her 5 minutes.
Stunt number 2 wasn't good enough. This is never to disrespect a player at all, as they'd probably say the same thing about myself. Once you don't make it, that's what people seem to think. But in my opinion, Sean Dockery just didn't do anything well enough to have a chance at playing in the NBA. For his career at Duke, he averaged 4.9 points, 1.8 assists, and didn't shoot the ball efficient enough at 49% from 2, only taking 2 shots a game, and 36% from 3, only attempting 1.3. That shows he couldn't, nor did he really want to shoot the ball. along with his 66% from the free throw line, which shows he was incapable of getting better and his concentration wasn't improving as well. But more than numbers, you could look at his game and tell that the NBA level just was a few steps above his talent. He wasn't a very good ball handler, shooter, playmaker, and he didn't have the size to impose his will on the game from his position. He was more of a defensive guy that almost averaged 2 steals a game for his career at the storied program. But with his seemingly ill-advanced motor and lack of leadership from the position, I don't think he ever really had a chance. Stunt number 3 wasn't meant to be. Like we mentioned earlier, not everyone is meant to play in the NBA. Dockery is one of those guys, and I think he's quite fine with that. In the 2006 NBA draft, he went undrafted, as many assumed he would. He would move on to a career professionally overseas that included a stint in the D-League from 2006 to 2008, where he failed to show exceptional skill as well. In the 2016-17 NBA season, he was seen behind the bench of the San Antonio Spurs, as he had been hired as an advanced scout for the 5-time NBA champions. And this is where I say playing in the league isn't the be-all end-all for some players. He graduated from a great academic institution in Duke, played in some unforgettable games, and with some unforgettable stars that are still around the game today. He's also still around the game he's grown up loving in some capacity as well, and he picked up experiences only he can speak about, which can be rewarding in itself. His experiences in that environment will always be coveted, as he's one of the few that can elaborate on what it's like to be at that level. All in all, he's had a great time and saw success, so I wish him the best. But for these reasons, he didn't play in the league. It's your boy JC Stunted Growth, and I'm out.
But constantly loading on my self-defense. You are a bitch ass. Hope pussy nigga and please do not pardon my friends. Cause I say what I meant and I meant what I say to you niggas won't ever catch me on the fence. And if a nigga say he got me on tight on my life, motherfucker, I wish. Yeah. If you know me, ain't no question, yeah, I'm packing. Got the pistol, better dick, I ain't a jacket. If I ain't making no money and I'm stacking, ain't no Houdini, but just like magic. If you know me, ain't no question, yeah, I'm packing.